What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Coach's Corner. Do you play in a league where you see a lot of press man and heavy quick jams? Well, today we talk about a technique that can help alleviate some of that pressure at the line and create a little bit more space for your receivers. If you ever want to catch these conversations live, I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening. But make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my video uploads. Now, hit them with the intro. It parts like the Red Sea. Nobody touches them.
No, it's like when you hear that you made the 105, it's like Christmas morning.
But if the ball comes in the B gap, I gotta make that play.
Right? So not everybody starts at ground zero equally.
So we're a program that being a run-oriented team, we see a lot of one-high safeties, and more specifically, a lot of man coverage, which it can create a lot of stress and put a lot of fear into a receiver core or a receiver group that's not going into a game confident. So what I want to talk to y'all about today is some subtle things that can reverse the roles and apply pressure to the secondary, apply pressure to the DB, to alleviate the stress that it puts on your players. And I want you to understand that when I tell y'all this is all within Texas high school regulations and rules. We're not breaking any rules. We're not playing dirty. We're not doing anything of that nature. Now, I know other states follow different guidelines and different structures. And so that's why I say it's a mindset, and it's a technique that it may not be exactly what I'm going to show you, but it's a mindset that you find a way to adapt. You bully release, you do these type of things, and you take advantage of isolated situations early in the game to set a tone and to rework the mindset of your guys and push your opponents, push them onto their heels so they can't respond accordingly. So, what I'm going to show you is these are two run plays. Mind you, we're talking receiver technique. These are two run plays that are going to show you the vast difference, the before and the after of how the secondary plays. And these are essentially back-to-back plays. You can see on the play number that they're not exactly back-to-back, but we jump into some different packages, and the kid isn't on the field and the formation's not in a set where you would get pressed like this. So that's why it's not the exact number, but they're close enough in the game sequentially to where you can see the immediate effect. And they both come on run plays, so you can see how it trickles over into a receiver having an impact on the run game, even when the play's not coming at him. So like I said, we get a lot of press coverage. We get loaded boxes because we're a downhill big team, and we're our identity is in the run. And what that means is there's two ways to lighten the box, right? You can hurt them early by beating man coverage, or you can affect the ability of the DB to execute the defense that's being called. And that was more the approach for some of our guys. You don't always have guys that can go out and just consistently be more athletic or be more technically sound and win on man coverage all the time. You're going to have guys that they need opportunities to create space for themselves, and it doesn't always have to be with the greatest release. So what I want to show y'all is, again, these are two run plays. Okay, and we're going to be looking at the top of the screen, okay, in the slot. All right, ball's on the left hash. This is the first quarter. I believe it's the first or second drive of the game. And it's the second drive of the game. And what you're going to see here is an inside run, but that's not what we're worried about. What we're going to watch is the slot receiver, okay? And again, this is a totally legal play. Nothing about this is illegal. Okay. So right here, we're in 11 personnel. Okay. This is an athletic team that we're playing. Okay. Check out the slot receiver. He knew it was man coverage, and this is something that we talked about. This is something that him and I had a conversation about going into the week, expecting to see man coverage and what that was going to do to you. Okay, how can I create space? Yes, he can line up off the ball, but if you look at the way that that kid is playing, he's flat-footed. He has zero concerns about what's going on in the box, but he also has zero concerns about the physicality of our guy. Okay, and it really encompasses across the board. You look at all three of our receivers, they're being pressed in essentially the exact same way. Okay, so he takes a speed release on the outside, and he doesn't run a release where he's not really trying to press and stack and get into a route winning release, because we don't want to show all of our cards early. But he turns the guy's head outside knowing that it's an inside run. Okay. Now, so there's some miscommunication on a slant that the D-line takes where you overrun it with our fold, and so some things miss up front. But what you see from the slot receiver, okay, is a cut block, a very safe, okay, cut block that's very effective. The guy's on the ground, but at no point in time did we attack joints or do anything of that nature. He waited till he got even, and he felt the guy in a situation where he might begin to look back towards the box or back towards the quarterback, and he just goes to the ground right there. Okay. Very simple. Now, like I said, had some miscommunication up front, but when we look at it from this point of view, sorry, we'll go tight. When we look at it from this point of view, I want you to focus on this player, okay? This is the guy that ends up making the play, because we've got to do some damage control right here with our sniffer because of some missed things by our front line, which is okay. We still get a few yards on this play. We're positive on the down and distance, and all that's fine. Okay. So we see who ends up making the play right there. All right. Now let's go back to the wide. Here's that same player that ends up making the play. Okay. That would essentially be accounted for, if our sniffer doesn't have to peel back like that. Okay. So when we pause this right here, knowing that this guy's about to get cut, knowing that if the play's executed and we pick up that stunt, this guy's taken care of. Knowing those two things, if our back can hit this vertically like we practice, if this play can be executed the way that it's called, okay, who is here to make this play? That guy's on the ground. That guy's 2 yards from the sideline, and this guy's he's attacking the box. He's coming forward, okay? So when you look at that, our slot receiver doesn't know that there's a miscommunication up front, but he has just gotten what essentially had the opportunity to be a touchdown block with an outside release cut block. And there's levels to the positive impact this has on your offense. You're going to come out, you're going to outside release, you're going to cut this guy down, and you're going to accomplish two things. Exactly. Not only are you taking that guy out of the play by turning his eyes outside, but you're also eliminating his ability to make a touchdown saving tackle. And then on top of that, you're going to change the way that he plays the rest of the game. And that's a guarantee. Okay. For guys that are in states that have regulations that have outlawed cut blocks, or if you're worried about this being illegal, something you can do is you quick jam them, or you bully release them first play or run away. Okay. Because it'll have that physicality and bringing that mindset, what I like to kind of refer to as like the Steve Smith mindset, bringing that early in the game will change the way they play. And some of you might be saying, are you sure it changes the way they play? What if that guy's really athletic? Well, this guy was really athletic. Okay. Across the board, they were more athletic than we were. But let's go to the next play. Again, this is the very next time we're in that same formation. Okay, there's 3 plays in between here that get us a first down where we jump into a full house, essentially a full house backfield. Okay, 3 running backs, a tight end, and a flanker. Okay, but this is the very next time we get into this formation. And when you watch this same kid guard the same slot receiver, watch how differently he plays his press man coverage. Give, try and work to where he can keep his eyes inside. Okay. You run it back. This guy's flat-footed. He's calm. He takes the free release. Okay. He's playing pass all day. He's turning and burning. He's ready to run. Okay. But he's not worried about anything that we're going to do. Fast forward. Now he's only worried about what our guy's going to do. He's only worried about what's about to happen near his knees, near his ankles, on the run game. And what this sets up is your play action. Okay? So it's got that manipulative factor. Again, we are within the framework of the rules. We are not doing anything that is illegal. This guy is pressing. He's playing pass coverage all day. And essentially, he's saying, I'm just going to run. I'm just going to play ghost man, guard you with my feet. Don't need to worry about being super physical because you're not going to be super physical. And even if you try and do run a route, I can just run with you. Absolutely not, because we'll put you on the ground. And again, it's not dirty. It's not anything illegal. Okay, but it does send a message. And that message is there's way more to my game and our offense that you have to worry about than you originally anticipated. Okay? And our kid sees that. See how the DB is starting to try and work square? He's trying to maintain that zero leverage so he can get hands-on and still try and be an edge player in the run game. He's trying to keep his eyes inside. He's trying to protect himself. And all of those things cause him to be timid, okay, or hesitant to commit to running in coverage or running in the run game. And it creates lanes and it creates space and it creates that hesitation in the secondary that we can now take advantage of in the passing game, whether it be play action, double moves, things of that nature. Okay, so that's just a little something. Again, if you are in a state that doesn't allow this, that cut blocks, I don't know the rules of other states when it comes to high school football. I know in FFHS or I'm not sure what the acronym is. I know that most states operate under that rule structure, but I don't know what it says about cut blocks or the restrictions on them, because I know there are some, because I know it's been a topic of conversation the past few years. But for us, since we operate under the NCAA rules, there are restrictions allow this kind of play. And if you're in a state where it doesn't, there are things that you can do, whether it be the bully release, okay, whether it be, a cross block on an early play. Take advantage. Talk to your kids about taking advantage on run plays away, okay? Yes, later in the game, if you're a tempo team, it's an opportunity to maybe save your legs, use your space, all those things. But early in that game, we want that Steve Smith mindset. We want to set that tone for the game of how we're going to play, okay, and make them adapt to us. We never want to let the defense dictate how we're going to play, and we don't want to have to adapt to them. We want to always make them try and adapt to us. So, again, guys, I would tell you that nothing that I talk about on this channel is revolutionary in the sense that I'm the guy that came up with it. I am proud to say that everything that I teach, I've stolen from somebody, either somebody that coached me directly or somebody that I listened, talked to, or somebody that I worked with, or somebody that coached on a team that I played on. Everything that I do is stolen. And that's simply because they were really smart and they know what they're talking about. And I just want to make sure that we're taking advantage of great techniques like that. As we start to move forward, in my career and in my offense, but if it's just your position group, if it's just your guy, right? If it's just a guy that you work with, making sure that those sound techniques that can be applied to any type of offense, are being kept within the game of football, because I think there's so much value. Where'd you pick this up from? Coach Babers. He was big on it. Obviously, we talked about it more from an outside receiver standpoint, but it's extremely effective, because what you usually see, and this is not to stereotype or attack anybody, but what you typically see is that corners are usually kind of two types of people. They're either big personalities or they're almost psychopathic, strong, silent type, right? It's very polarizing. And when you play against those big personalities, the no fly zone arm wavers and the gator clappers when you play against those guys and you get them one time, and especially if you get them one time early, it will throw off their game. It'll throw off their approach, their mentality, their focus. So those details from their scouting report of when he's only 5 yards from the hash instead of this many yards, or when he bunches tight to the outside guy, or when he bunches tight to the tackle, it's telling when you start to do things like this to take their focus off of their preparation and more on their emotions. Now they forget those details, and you can just continue to play fast and be aggressive. And again, it makes them have to play in a reactive mode instead of a proactive mode. So it's just it's the chess within the game of football. It's the mind games that we get in isolation as a receiver that we want to take advantage of. And we really want to get in guys' heads and, play that mental game. We have to play that mental game. Okay. Even if you look at a 5-wide team that throws the ball 60 times, okay, the vast majority of the time, your guys are going to have no more than 10 catches a game. And if you're a team that runs 60, 65 plays a game, okay, that's less than 15% of the offensive plays where even your dude is touching the ball. So you got to find other ways to stay engaged to win against your one-on-one matchup, right? We're all working collectively 11 people as a unit, but we have to win our individual matchup. And if all 11 of us consistently win our individual matchups, then we're going to win the game. So if we can't win the matchup because we have the ball in our hand because of the style of offense or this, that, the other, this is just another way to do that, whether it's with an outside released cut block or if it's with a bully release that allows us to take advantage of a runaway or something like that. But again, just to look at it one more time. Early in the game, second drive, he knows it's a run inside. He knows it's man coverage, drop, cut. Guy can't make a play if we break it. What does that do to his mentality? Completely changes how he tries to press us. Now, instead of, I can just run with you, this is a track meet, I don't have to do anything. Now he's got to worry about a cut block. Now he's got to worry about a run bouncing outside. Now he's got to worry about, oh crap, these guys aren't just going to let us do whatever we want. Backpedal, shuffle. He's high. He's not doing anything with his hands. He's just trying to keep his eyes inside to see where the ball's coming and keep you in front of him so you can't take him to the ground. So there it is. Nothing life altering. Nothing, we didn't reinvent the wheel. We didn't, find a new equation for gravity, but just little subtle tricks, I don't want to call them tricks, little techniques, okay, that can allow receivers to have a bigger impact in the run game without having to be the most physical blockers on the team. There you have it. This technique should help create separation at the line for any receiver in any style offense. Don't forget, I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening. Thanks for stopping by the Coach's Corner.